What's up YouTube? Welcome to another vlog. Today we're going to start putting the car back together. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. I'm just going to get right to work. And here's what we're going to start with first. I just went and removed the core support again so we can get access to the serpentine belt and we have to install a new alternator. So basically I already went ahead and removed the belt. So we're gonna pop this clip off right here, this connector, this positive wire from the battery, and there's a bolt that's holding it right here, and there's another one right down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off, and we're gonna start putting the new alternator on and the new belt. So let me go ahead and remove this, and we'll at least look at them and compare them next to each other to see if there is any difference. All right guys, here it is. It's off. And they basically look identical. The only difference I can tell is the plug. The plug is on the back side on the new one, on the Mechman one, and the plug on the OEM is right on top right here, off to the side. But besides that, they look identical to each other, maybe slightly different bracketry. But let me go ahead and put this on and we'll see how it looks like on the car. Alright, starter and the new belt's installed. That's part number one out of the way. Looking pretty good, actually looking kind of out of place. I'm gonna have to give this motor a wipe down. That thing was super clean the first time I put that in. Everything was nicely painted and clean and scrubbed. But anyway, this thing fits real nice, no issues. The plug is right here. My wire harness actually reached over here with no problem. You see there's a little slack here, so not too bad. Super easy install, as you guys probably already all know. But that's part number one. Well, actually two parts: belt and alternator. Done. So next thing, I'm gonna throw some new gaskets for the exhaust manifold, and we're gonna get that thing screwed on, and I think the turbo is gonna be the next one. So that way we're gonna knock out two more parts, so the garage is not gonna be so cluttered at the end of the day. I'm really hoping so. But anyway, let me get that manifold on, turbo, and then we're gonna keep moving forward. I don't know what's next. I'm just kind of moving along as I'm trying to close up the engine bay and kind of work my way out of there. So I don't have a set plan. I'm just kind of going and thinking what's next, so it all works out and I don't have to go back and whatnot. So anyway, let me get that done, and we're gonna take a look at it. All right, I just put the manifold on. I'm just going to stop here for a second to bring out and show a couple things here, just for the guys who are wondering about the CX racing headers and should you buy, should you not. So if you're on the budget, they're alright. If you have the money, go with the real deal. Absolutely, probably be better off. But I'm going to show you a couple issues that I just forgot how pain in the butt they are to install, but here we are. First off, all these welds are so close to the hole where the stud goes in. So whenever you have your OEM nut and the washer is pressed into the nut, so it free spins. So if you have the stock one, basically it will not fit because it's going to be sitting right against the weld. So what I end up doing is I end up shaving these down to the size of the nut, so they sit right above the weld all the way, every single one of them. So that's you know, one of the inconvenience things that you're gonna find. And the second one, there's three studs that are on the bottom of the manifold, and they're so close to the bend of the tube that whenever you install it, basically you can barely see it, but there's one right over here, right in there. You have to pull this all the way back. You have to pull the manifold back and slide it on at the same time as you put in the nut on. So there's three of them on the bottom. The rest of them are right. You can get a socket on them. And so those are the two basically cons that you will find with these headers. And here's the fitment. It is pretty tight all the way around, but you can get them in and out with no issues. Just like I said, this thing, if you guys are doing AN fitting, chop your ball a little bit shorter so this elbow is not on the way when you're dropping them. For me, I have to take this off every time, but eventually I'll redo that. Not today. And another thing, if you guys are wrapping your headers, I just recommend to go ahead and don't wrap them all the way in, all the way up to the flange. Leave a little bit of room so you can put a knot on, because I just learned it is so tight. It was tight already, but now it's even tighter, and it's a pain to get all the nuts on with the wrap installed. So basically I just want to stop and point out those few things, so whenever you're thinking about purchasing CX headers, you'll see what are the cons about this manifold. Other than that, it's great. Once it's on, but it takes a while. You just gotta mess around with it to get them on. So let's jump into turbo right now. I'm gonna get the turbo on, and then we'll think about what's next. I think the next thing we're gonna put on is a plate, the thermostatic plate for the oil filter. I think that's gonna be the next convenient thing to reach to, since there's no front end on yet. So I think I'm gonna go after that. But for now, let me get the turbo on, and we'll move forward. Let's do it. All right, it's been about an hour and a half. I was working to get that turbo in, oil drain line, oil pressure. So all these lines are in. I'm gonna show you that real quick. So this is what it looks like now. So it'll basically look like we're before. So the turbo, downpipe, wastegate, all installed, all hooked up, everything's tight. Basically almost done with the hot side. I just gotta hook up some my line for the radiator at the bottom, but that'll be probably later. But what I had, there was an issue before that I wanted to fix. Right over here, guys, where the intercooler pipe comes out, when the motor is obviously flexing and stuff. I'm gonna show you. We'll see if this thing can focus. But right over there, if you can see right here, it rubs on this bracket. So same thing happens on this side, and also it happens on this side. It doesn't want to focus, but it happens on both sides. There's just not enough space for it to move around. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut a section of this out, so when it does flex, it has room and it's not gonna chafe, and then I'm not gonna end up with a hole in the intercooler pipe. So this I have to do at some point. I think I'm gonna, the easiest way to do for this side, I think it's just easy to do it from here. For that, I'm gonna have to remove this plastic so I can see, and get something in here and get it cut out, get the cutting wheel in there. So that's basically something that I wanted to fix for a while, so I'm gonna finally take care of that. So next thing we're gonna do is install this Mechman thermostatic plate. Oops, almost lost it. Thermostatic plate. There it is. I already put the fittings on it. So we're gonna remove the OEM and get this one installed. All right, guys. I got that thing removed. It took about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. It wasn't bad at all. Here it is. It wasn't too tight, so it was pretty easy to break it loose. It's a 24mm bolt, just in case you're wondering. So you just pop that off, and then here's your two hoses that will be in there. There's one on this side that comes out of the block, and there's one on this side that continues going to go around your engine block on the back side. So pop both of those lines off, and broke this loose and remove the whole thing. So here we are. So basically we're exchanging this unit for this unit. What a difference. So it should be a little bit more room in there to move around. So before I'm gonna install this, what you do have to do is the two lines that went into here, one in here and one in here. So basically now I'm gonna pull them off from the block, and I'm gonna pull one that comes around the back of the engine, and I'm gonna run a solid line. So I'm just gonna meet them, two of them together. I'm gonna mock this up real quick. Alright guys, well, I forgot to order something. I forgot to order the pipe adapter to go from the block to the sandwich plate. So I have nothing to screw this down into. I don't know how I overlooked it, but I did. So this is not gonna go on today, which sucks, because I was really looking to get this plate installed and see how the lines would run. I had to cut the other video short from Saturday. I had some stuff come up that I had to go take care of, so I wasn't able to work on the car that day anymore. But I want to show you a little update on what actually happened. Whenever I had a chance to work on the car, I did tell you that I was hooking up that bypass hose for the coolant, and then I ended up actually mocking up the new sandwich plate onto the block for the oil cooler. And this Mechman plate that comes with the universal kit is actually a 1/4 inch smaller than the opening on the engine block. So if you guys are trying to order this, don't do it, because this does not fit. It actually fits between your original housing and the actual oil filter. So if you don't remove the whole assembly, you can put this on and then mount your filter right on top of it. So you'll have the coolant, OEM coolant assembly and this all together, but that just whole bunch of stuff next to each other, and you kind of don't want that. So I ended up calling Mechman. They were super cool. They were letting me return this part, even though this was part of the kit, so it was really nice of them. I ended up ordering a new plate from Suspicious Garage that should be here shortly, and we're gonna put that on. But there was time I was able to work on the car. I just did not videotape. Jake came out and gave me a hand with some of the things that I got going on over here. So let's take a look how far we got on the car. We got these fans mounted. We ended up making some brackets, 4-point bracket on these SPAL fans right over here. So they both mounted. I picked up the holes from the hood latch, both right there, one off the side and one right over here. And there's 2 more at the bottom. So the fans are pretty nice and sturdy. They're not going anywhere. And that's what that looks like. We also did mock up our oil cooler. So the oil cooler is going to be sitting right over here. The fitment's going to be pretty tight for now. As you see, the lines come pretty close to the headlight, but they do clear and a bumper does go on, so that's cool. The only thing the only issue that we run into, I have my blow-off valve sits right under here, right there. So what we're gonna end up doing is closing up this hole and moving the blow-off valve up the stream. So we're gonna probably mount it right here. So that's basically where we got. This still needs brackets made from here and most likely down to here. So that's what it looks like for now. And this is all temporarily, guys. Like I said, the tube front end is coming, so we're gonna change this whole situation the way it's all set up. And let me show you the fitment on the fans. They're pretty close, right over here. So there is room, and this still needs to be pushed forward. I think I'm gonna slot these holes a little bit so I can move it just another 1/4 inch or so away, so it's not so close. And that's how it is on both sides. So you can see, not the ideal way to mount it, just because how close they are. Maybe like vibration of the front end as you're driving, maybe it will contact the intercooler, or maybe it will not. But I'm still gonna slot the holes just to scoot that forward a little bit to give it some more room. And here's these brackets that I was talking about. I was gonna rivet these brackets on and pick up the holes. So both of them are on. Don't look too bad. This is now the radiator is hidden in here, so it gives me a little bit more room for the airflow. That's basically where we at, guys. And as I was putting all this together, I noticed that the crank pulley does have some cracking around where the rubber insert is on your main crank pulley. So what I did, I ordered a flood dampener pulley, so that should be here also. We have that coming. We have a new adapter plate coming and a new flange for the blow-off valve. So all that should go on shortly, and the car should be back on the road, and we'll see. I'm pretty excited about it, and I believe that will stay cool because I did everything that there was to do trying to keep it cool. Anyway guys, this is going to be a part 1 of this video. There's going to be a part 2 where we're going to go ahead and finish everything up. So I apologize that we broke the video into 2 days. I didn't get to finish it on Saturday, and today is already a Wednesday, and I'm just wrapping this video up. So please stay tuned, and we're going to install the rest of the stuff, so it should be pretty exciting as everything goes on. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.